And now here's more of the story on the making of the film MVP.
Film critics Pam Powell sits down with Nate Boyer. Take a look.
Identity and home are two key elements within this film. And there was a line that really struck a chord with me. It was, you can't go home until you find home. Can you tell me what that means to you and your character and how it impacted your character in the movie?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, that line is delivered by the actor Dan Loria, who plays Jim Zenner. Dan, people know him as the dad on The Wonder Years, or Vince Lombardi on Broadway. He's a Vietnam veteran, which was really cool. So he brought something very special to the character. I mean, all the vets portrayed on screen were played by actual veterans. But that one was really special because he's from that era. So we got to have that Vietnam vet in that era. But I think that message, you can't come home until you go home, essentially coming home fully, your mind, your spirit, emotionally, mentally, not just physically, from war is a difficult thing. A lot of people feel like a piece of them is still back there. Mm-hmm. And very literally for the Zephyr character, much like when I was talking about AJ earlier and not wanting to go home after leaving the home, kind of vowing to never go back. Zephyr felt that way, and he'd gone off to combat, and he'd done some things, maybe some things that he wasn't proud of, maybe some things where he felt survivor's guilt over, like, why did I make it back and these other people didn't? Like, I don't deserve to come home. Like, they deserve to come home. They were better men than me. Why am I here? And quite literally for him, he needs to go see his mom. He needs to go to his actual home where he came from and forgive and kind of let go. And that is that process, that step will actually bring the rest of him home from overseas. And that was kind of the idea behind that and the feeling. And it's a feeling that a lot of veterans resonate with and relate to. And it's not easy. It's certainly not easy.
One last question for you. Is there anything in the process of making MVP, the film, that you learned about yourself or discovered that maybe you hadn't known before?
You know what I learned? It's kind of a negative thing, but I learned that I have a real problem trusting people at times. Okay. And I think that comes from different things in my life, but it's something I need to practice more and more, because all of us working on this thing, we felt this great responsibility to not screw the story up because of what it's about, right? And it's about our community, and we're doing it ourselves. And we had this pressure of, like, it has to be authentic. It has to be real. Like, we can't, if it ever feels not real, we're going to get crucified by the veteran community, And with that pressure, it got to me at times, and I was like, I would find myself trying to, almost like micromanage a situation when it's like, I put this person in this position to be successful because they are successful and they are good at what they do. They're better at what they do than I am. So let that person live. Let them create this space, And it was really hard to do. And I throughout the process of the film, I think I got a little bit better at it every day, but it was still something that I definitely struggled with. And after we got done, it was like this realization of, man, like, you've got a lot of work to do on yourself when it comes to just trusting people. And that's a good thing, though, just to recognize that,
Absolutely. Yeah.
But also, it furthers my belief that anything is possible. And no matter who you are, what your experience level is, if you commit to something and you put the work in, you can make it. And it may not be what you thought it was going to be when you started creating it. It'll take on a life of its own, and the universe will maybe push and pull you in different directions. And you should be receptive to that for sure. But just go make stuff. Just go try. It's worth it. It's worth it. And no matter what that end result looks like, the journey, the process is the most important part. And just the fact that you're putting yourself out there and giving it everything you can. So it furthers my belief that anybody can do anything, because I'm pretty inexperienced in this space, but I wasn't afraid to fail, and the biggest limitations we put that I guess the biggest limiting factors in the world on us are ones we put on ourselves. And I didn't want to do that, and I don't want anybody else to either.
Nate Boyer, it was an absolute pleasure talking with you. Thank you for creating MVP, the organization, as well as this powerful film. Thank you.